has joined us. You don't want to see me.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Lynn.
All right.
We're having some technical difficulties, so you don't want to look at me all night. So
Okay.
I am going to stop my video, but you should tell me if you can see the shared screen though. Let me
Okay.
real quick. It already shared. If I stop my video, can you still see the shared screen?
I do not see the shared screen at all.
How about now?
Nope, I see you. Maybe stop share and reshare.
How's that?
Oh, you know what? I bet it's the way I have my computer set up.
It's different now. So you can see the shared screen though, and not me?
No, I don't see you, but I still don't see a shared screen. Huh,
Says you're screen sharing.
that's-
So that wasn't there before. I think it's working.
maybe it's my view. No? Oh, that's weird. Yeah. I mean, it's okay for me because I have the agenda here anyway, but
Okay. Well, we're gonna get started then.
okay. Is
Thank you.
We will now commence the board of directors meeting for the Bigfoot Area Recreation and Park District at 6:31. Ms. Brent,
Sure. Hand over your heart, ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
all right, can we do roll call?
Yes, Division 1, Kim Gerald Johnson. Here. Division 2, Jose Luis Godinez.
Present.
Division 3, Rebecca Redorte Byrne.
Present.
Division 4, Edward Castellano. Division 5, Ross Leja.
Here. Okay, item 3, do we have any public comment?
No, I've not received any.
Okay, on to item 4, the next call. Would anyone like to put one?
Yeah, there was one correction to the minutes, but I believe Colby already made it.
Okay,
There's a typo.
There's just a typo in the minutes.
all right,
I will move to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second.
all approved,
Aye.
Aye.
any opposed? Right, passes 5-0. All right, now on to item 5.1. Conduct public hearings and election related to Community Facilities District 2016-1, annexation 40.
Yes, Mr. President, this is annexation 2016-1, number 40. This is, and I'm sorry, I apologize first. We were having video difficulties today, and Ms. Gruber is available via our laptop. Unfortunately, the sound is not great. Len, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you just fine, yes.
What about everybody else?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Are you comfortable with me turning it over to you then, Len?
Oh, sure.
Perfect.
Sure. So now is the time and place for the public hearing for this annexation, which is going to be the auto zone just on Limonite. So it would be appropriate for you to open up the public hearing and provide any comment. And I'm here with any questions that you may have.
So these are the public hearings that the board's proceeding for annexation number 40 to Community Facilities District number 2016-1. The hearing starts to inquire into the annexation of territory into the district and the levy of special taxes in the territory to be added to fund the cost of certain public services in the district. The public hearings are now officially open. Protests may be oral or written. Any property owner and any registered voter within the proposed territory to be annexed into the district may file a written protest. Does anyone wish to file a written protest? If so, they must be filed with the board clerk at this time. Board clerk, do you have any written protests?
No, we do not.
Okay, since there are no written protests filed, we will not receive oral comments and questions and oral protests from any interested person. When all comments have been received, the hearings will be closed. Is anyone here to present an oral comment or protest on this matter? None? Okay. So the public hearings are now closed. We may now consider and adopt a resolution of annexation and the resolution calling election back order. Can I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of resolution number 2024-01, entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Area Recreation Park District ordering the annexation of territory to Solely District of 2016-1 subject to
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right.
Okay.
Roll call.
Rebecca Redoute Burns. Sorry, I don't want to catch you in the middle of drinking. I know, sorry. I knew you were coughing. Kim Gerald Johnson. Aye. Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leisure.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, I move approval of resolution number 2024-02, entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Rupa Area Recreation and Park District calling special election.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Rebecca Redoute Burns.
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson. Aye. Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leisure.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. The resolution calling special election calls for the property owner vote to approve the special tax and the appropriations limit for the territory to be next to district. Because the property owners have waived the waiting periods and other requirements related to elections as provided by law, the special election will be held at this evening. At this time, I ask the board clerk to open the ballots and announce the results of the special Langone North election.
Okay, I am in receipt of one ballot representing 1.3 acres, totaling 2 votes, and a vote is yes in favor of.
Okay. The result of the election is in favor of the levy of special taxes and the establishment of the appropriations limit. We may now proceed with the final action for the district. The board of directors considers and takes the following actions. Can someone move on to 3?
I move approval of resolution number 2024-03, entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Rupa Area Recreation Park District, declaring results of special election and directing recording of notice of special tax lien.
Second.
Can I get a roll call?
Yes, Rebecca Redoute Burns.
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Edgar Castellan. Ross Leisure.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. I move approval of first reading and pass the second reading, the ordinance number 01-2024, entitled An Ordinance of the Board of Directors of the Recreation Park District levying special taxes for the Recreation Park District Facilities District number 2016-1, annexation number 40 area.
I'll second.
All right, roll call.
Yes. Rebecca Redoute Burns.
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson. Aye. Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leisure.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. The board of directors accepts the result of the special tax sale and stops all proceedings to levy the special tax.
Now that's it for voting against.
Oh,
That's it for that item.
Yep, we're done with that one.
Don't worry, I did the wrong one.
okay.
Done it before.
Yeah. All right, and we are moving on to item 5.2 now, Mr. President.
Okay.
Same thing.
And same thing, I'll turn this over to Ms. Gruber. This is for annexation number 41 into CFD 2016-1.
So similar to annexation 40, this is one that we started on the December 14th meeting with the resolution of intention. And tonight is the time and place for the public hearing. This is for the proposed Panda Express along Mission Boulevard and Valley Way. And it would be appropriate now to follow the script and open the public hearings.
Question.
Yes.
So any confusion there was, has been
Yes.
resolved with the Panda
Yep.
people? Okay.
All right. So these are the public hearings of this board's proceedings for annexation number 41, Community Facility District number 2016-1. The hearings are to inquire into the annexation of territory into the district, levy special taxes in the territory that is fund the cost of certain public services. Public hearings are now officially open. Protests may be oral or written, and property owner and any registered voter within the local territory to annex into the district may file a written protest. Does anyone wish to file a written protest? If so, they must be filed with the board clerk at this time. Board clerk, how will you begin written protest?
No, we have not.
If there are no written protests, Bill, we will now receive oral comments and questions and oral protests from any interested person. When all comments have been received, and the hearing will be closed. Is anyone here to present oral comments or protest matters? Seeing none, the public hearings are now closed. We may now consider and adopt the resolution of annexation and the resolution calling election that order. Can I get a motion?
I'll do this one. I move approval of resolution number 2024-04 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Hoopa Area Recreation and Park District, ordering the annexation of territory into its Community Facilities District number 2016-1, subject to voter approval.
Can we get a roll call?
Rebecca Redorsey Byrne,
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson,
Aye.
Jose Luis Godinez,
Yes.
Edward Castello,
Yes.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, I'll take on the next motion. I move approval of resolution number 24-05 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Hoopa Area Recreation and Park District calling special election.
Second.
Can we get a roll call?
Yes. Rebecca Redorsey Byrne,
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson, Jose Luis Godinez,
Yes.
Edward Castello, Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. The resolution calling special election called for the property owner vote to approve the special tax and appropriation limit for the territory to be annexed to the district. Because the property owners have waived the waiting periods and other requirements related to elections as provided by law, the special election will be held at this evening. At this time, I ask the board clerk to open the ballots and announce the results of the special election.
Let's see. I'm in receipt of one ballot representing 2.86 acres totaling 3 votes, and it is in favor. Yes.
The results of the election being in favor of the special taxes and the establishment of the appropriation limit. We may now proceed with the final actions for the district. All right, the board of directors considers and takes the following action.
I move approval of resolution number 2024-06 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Hoopa Area Recreation and Park District declaring results of special election and directing reporting of notice of special tax meeting.
Can we get a roll call?
Yes. Rebecca Redorsey Byrne,
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson, Jose Luis Godinez,
Yes.
Edward Castello,
Yes.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. On the next one, I'm sorry if I could, there was a typo on the next motion, number 4. The ordinance number should be 02-2024, and the 02 does not appear there.
Okay, I'll go into that. I move approval of the first reading and pass the second reading, the ordinance number 02-2024, entitled an ordinance of the Board of Directors of the Park District levying special taxes within the Park District Community Facilities District number 2016-1, annexation number 40.
Second.
Roll call.
Rebecca Redorsey Byrne,
Yes.
Kim Gerald Johnson, Jose Luis Godinez,
Yes.
Edward Castello, and Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And not only that.
We're done.
No.
That's it for that item as well, and I'll go ahead and sign off.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Have a good meeting.
You too.
Bye-bye.
That wasn't for the county, it's for that entire piece of property.
It's the entire piece of property. It's 4 parcels. It is currently approved for 3 drive-through restaurants. They've announced the second pad will be Jack in the Box.
So
Yes.
those,
We won't see or hear from them again at this point.
those people will have to pay their fees as well.
They've already, Jack in the Box paid their fee actually today. So they're moving forward. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, some part, the annexation is separate than the fees.
So they have a park development fee, which is based on the square footage of the construction they're building.
They have community facilities,
And then they have a CFD annexation, which is this.
yes, so any new restaurants will have to pay in the community. So
Correct. Yes.
Now on to item 5.3, request for use of the Rick Thompson Arena for the 2024 Rural Valley Pro.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. We do have representatives from the Pro Rodeo here tonight that would be available for any questions you may have. The rodeo, as you are well aware, returned last year to a very successful event by all accounts. They were near capacity both nights. A lot of positive feedback. They did a phenomenal job from the staff aspect. There was a very good group to work with. They were well organized, and one of the quickest cleanups staff has ever seen from the rodeo. They were out of there. They were ready to be done. We appreciate that. They were very communicative with staff, very responsive to any constructive criticism, and would like to note we did have a good sit-down meeting following last year's event with the sheriff that made some very good recommendations that I know they're planning on inputting this year. So we're looking forward to another good event this year coming up. There's a possibility of a Sunday activity. I don't know if that's 100% yet, but they'd be able to discuss where we're at with that. Other than that, the agreement coming before you is very similar to what was presented last year, with the exception of just adding that the security plan is signed by the sheriff by May 15th of this year.
Does it include Sunday?
I'm sorry?
The
It
agreement?
includes Sunday. That's kind of going to be I'm imagining a funding discussion.
Yeah,
So
we're fairly certain we're gonna. Sorry,
no problem.
we're fairly certain that we're gonna move forward with Sunday. At this point, we're planning on it. I think it would take a huge wrench thrown into our plans to not include Sunday. At this point, we are planning on it.
And just for clarity, what will Sunday include?
Sunday would be another PRCA rodeo. We want to include the Challenge Children's Rodeo. None of this is 100% sure. We're still filling out, seeing who we get to come in. But every expectation, it would be a continuation of our PRCA rodeo, just with a few more community events, I guess, thrown in there.
Historically, just there was a special rodeo. Is that going to be part of it as well, or you don't know yet?
We're anticipating it, right? Yeah, the Challenge Children's Rodeo. There are different groups that come in to help put that on. I know previously they worked with the school district and identified students. We still need to get concrete who we're working with as far as that goes, but our expectations.
I know we briefed early on that. Now, in the interim convention now, is there anything that you can prepare us to look into, to do something better, extensive, is any of that kind of conversation taking place after the, like I said, that was positive. We always learn from our events to get better or do something different, anything like that.
I know that we've had conversations with Colby, and I believe I heard that the lights got replaced.
We're working on it. That's going to be an item coming before the board.
Oh. So the lights were a concern.
Right.
We did lose power to a set of lights, the east-west lights, about midway through each performance last year, so that was a concern.
And did you have different ones? So would that be part of what we would be discussing probably that way?
They're going to come before the board. We have a couple different options for. Basically, what we determined was the ballasts are old, and they would hit a certain operating temperature about halfway through the night, and they would shut off. So they need to be replaced. So we have a couple different options that'll come forward for your consideration. So
It's kind of what I thought. Here, before the board.
Oh, yeah, no, we were, it was great to work with you all. Working with Colby was great. Very receptive to anything that we needed, offered criticism, offered help.
constructive criticism, please.
Very much needed constructive criticism, but last year was a little chaotic leading right up to it. We're hoping it's not this year, even though I feel like that may just come with the territory if they're an event of size. But we're really looking forward to it. We like working with you guys. It was great to see you out there before the start of the rodeo. We're just really excited for this year.
What is your goal for attendance?
Huh? I'm sorry.
What is your goal for your attendance goal? For this
So
year?
last year, we were sitting right around like 1,500 to 1,600 Friday night. This year, we're hoping to break 2,000 each night.
Okay.
Same basic committees last year.
Same basic committee. It's just me and Heidi tonight, but Brett of the is here to help us. Also Laura Schultz and Stacy, they're Morgan as well.
Is there anything?
Good, as long as they're in communication with our staff and everyone's getting along.
Really?
I'm just looking forward to going again. I enjoy the rodeo quite a bit, so.
Yeah, same here. Attending this year, wasn't able to left.
We look forward to having you. We'll get you in the picture this year with the horses.
Looking forward to that too.
Thinking more of a bowl.
We'll put them on hold. We'll be our opening.
All right, may I get a motion?
Sure, I move the board of directors approve the facility use agreement with the Hoopa Valley Community Pro Rodeo for the 2024 rodeo and related activities.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, item passes 5-0. Next, item 5.5 is off the table, right?
So 5.4 is next.
All right, so 5.6,
5.4
5.4.
is the fee waiver for the food fest.
okay. It's good.
Yes.
All right, now 5.4, request for fee waiver for use of Skyview Event Center for 2021 Hoopa Valley Food Fest.
Yes.
24.
24.
The
Oh,
agenda
okay.
says 2021.
Yeah,
It does.
so, correction, 2024,
Where does it say that at?
Where does it say?
on the side.
Request for the fee waiver, go for 20.
Oh, on the
It does here.
agenda.
It does here, yeah.
Yeah, yours. Oh.
Not on the actual report, but yeah.
Interesting. Thank you. Yes, Mr. President, this is a request from the Hoopa Valley Rodeo and the Lions Club for the 2024 Hoopa Valley Food Fest. Miss Leisha is here tonight. Did I say it again?
You said rodeo.
Oh, you guys didn't know that you're doing this.
We don't want to.
This is an annual event, and a portion of the proceeds go towards scholarships for local high school students. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought here. But an event like this would, they'll be charged some direct costs such as security, which was somewhat of a gray area last year, but that will be something that they will pass on and be charged. They understand that. And as well as we've vowed to have better communication between the organizations prior to the event, just to ensure a smooth event this year. So other than that, Ms. Lay should be available if you had any questions. I think she wanted to speak.
Yes.
Thank you, and I hope you all had a chance to read the letter I submitted, and I hope it covered any questions or concerns and conveyed to you our sincere gratitude of being able to use the facility last year. The facility lends itself quite nicely to this event, and this was our second largest food fest in the history of the food fests. So we were very pleased with that, and looking forward to working with you again. And please let me know if you have any questions or.
Ms. Jordan, you have any questions?
I know, I did hear you outline the communication, so, I do have, had some input from help people. I know that. Over school and Wednesday for the past, but we really would like to know, upfront, as we start again to this, that, do you have any ideas that we can take into consideration that you feel, the organization is going to be using this? Please let us know so that we can correct it or work on it. Again, the communication piece, I think you already mentioned, that's really good.
Yes, and facility wise, I don't have any questions or concerns. I mean, it always comes down to what the weather's like that day and, you know, so forth. And maybe we need to do some outside tweaking, and I think that's more on our setup than anything to do with the facility. You know, you learn every year something that you can improve. I wholeheartedly agree with the communication part of it, and I think we're trying to get a handle on any of those issues that they were our issues. They weren't the Parks District issues, and we're acknowledging that and we're making corrections. So, yeah.
Okay. Johnson? Any questions?
No, I don't.
Mr. Medina? Mr. Leahy?
No questions.
Madam President?
So I'm just gonna volunteer because I know there were some questions about the scholarship aspect, because it is largely promoted as scholarships. And just to let you know, in addition to the scholarships that we provide, which this year it's anticipated between the two organizations, it'll be in the range of $12,000. We also we're able to present $4,500 in additional support to organizations within the schools, as well as other organizations such as the Boy Scout troop that did the presentation of the colors, and the Parks District. We were able to give a donation towards your scholarships. And so it really does benefit more than just those scholarships we present to the schools in whole. Anything else?
That's it?
Thank you.
All right, can I get a motion?
I move the board of directors approve the request for waiver of fees. 5 years. 2024
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item passes 5-0. Next, on to item 5.6.
We're not doing the fee schedule?
We need to open, yes, we need to open the public hearing, Mr. President. Today during review, staff realized a major section of the fee schedule did not get published. So therefore, we need to continue the item to the next meeting.
Okay, so we're skipping that one today.
Well, we just need to open the public hearing and continue it to the next
Okay.
meeting. We just need to repost it.
All those good, correct?
So if we, Mr. President, if you could open the public hearing,
I now open the public hearing for,
and then we will continue it to the next meeting.
they need to mention the specific.
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, we'll open the public hearing and continue to the next one. And that's it for item 5.6.
Yes.
5.5. Now to item 5.6, replacement of ice machine, ice bin at Vernola Park Snack Bar.
Yes, the ice machine at the snack bar at Vernola Park is beyond its useful life and in need of replacement. It was first installed in 2016, so it's 8 years old now at this point. We've had to do some repair on it the last couple of years, each time costing between $1,500 and $1,800. And it looks like this repair would be in excess of that. So staff's recommendation is to replace it. We have three quotes here, Chef's Toys, FSE Incorporated, and Granger. With Chef's Toys coming in at $6,994.52. That's delivered. Miss Whitney did want me to note that one of the quotes was from August, but there was a backup email saying that is still a valid quote. So wanted me to make sure that I did share that with you. And there is funding available for this in the park maintenance account for Vernola. So, but this was not a budgeted item and exceeds my purchase authority, and that's why we brought it in front of you.
Questions or comments?
Yes, with that, is there a contract of one fee or anything like that?
Yeah, it comes with a standard warranty. I believe it's 3 years. I don't remember. I can tell you right now. I'm pretty sure it's in the. 3 years, yes.
And prior, do we have something similar for the warranty?
Yeah, it expired.
Oh,
Anyone else?
Yeah, the failure of the old unit, was it anything to do with the supply water coming into the building? Do we have any inline filters that we are responsible for maintaining to keep good, clean water to the machines?
There are inline filters for it. My understanding, it was the compressor that failed,
Okay,
not anything to do with the actual.
compressors are expensive.
Yes, compressors are expensive.
Just want to make sure that, we're filtering.
No,
you know,
correct.
we're doing-
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the kind of thing like an air conditioner that regular maintenance would help? some people?
Yes and no. Some of it just has to do with the design of the facility. Those snack bars get very hot. They're not air conditioned, so they work harder because of that. But one of the things that we are working hard to do is when the leagues are not in season, everything gets shut off. Not just the ice machines, the refrigerators get cleaned out, the freezers get cleaned out, so they're not running for no reason. That was not something that always happened in the past. So it's not only going to save the life of these equipment, but it's going to save unneeded wasted electricity.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion?
Sure. I move the board of directors approve the bid from Chef's Toys for the purchase of a new ice maker and ice bin for the Vanola Park Snack Bar in the amount of $6,994.52.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes 5-0. Next, on to item 5.7, discussion of veterans.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Last year, when the board ultimately decided to not hold a memorial wall ceremony due to the lack of applications, one of the discussions came up, why we weren't getting a lot of nominations. And I think we decided one of the contributing factors was the wall just was not very well known within the community. It's kind of tucked back in with the ball fields at Memorial Park. And the discussion was the relocation of the wall for a couple of reasons. Obviously, putting in a more prominent area within the park, closer to Limonite, to the front of the park, Riverview up front, but also to adjust and fix some design flaws within it. The memorial wall now is U-shaped curved. It's a very classic design, it looks very nice, but it also lends itself to some unwanted activities. It makes a great shelter, makes a great windbreak for a barbecue, makes a great place for the unhomed to have a fire in the evenings or overnight. And also it's the way it's designed, it's blocked from Pacific Avenue to where anybody driving by in the evening after hours or the sheriff can't see what's going on within it. It's had a lot of vandalism over the years. Also, with the curved nature of the wall and the plaques that go up there being flat, it creates a cavity behind it. And when struck by something hard, they've cracked very easily. So not only would this relocation provide a hopefully better visibility for the facility, but it can be designed in a way in which it's still aesthetically pleasing to the park, but does not lend itself to some of these unwanted activities. So what we have in front of us is a proposal from Community Works Design Group, who's already done a significant amount of work at the park. It has a lot of plans of, the playground that's there, the shelter, splash pad, restrooms, is a proposal to come in and create conceptual designs for the park. What I did include in here, if you read through their proposal, there was a fee of $5,000. I want to make sure I give it to you correctly for the topographical survey for the area we're looking at in the front portion of the park. But to do the entire park, it's estimated at $12,000. We are obviously looking at a master plan renovation of the entire facility. And it would be good to have all those elevations now. So when we go to do the park down the road, we're not double paying, but it reduces the chances of things not lining up in the future. Just a little insurance, a little extra, an ounce of prevention now. We all know the saying is gonna help us out. So that's what we have in front of us. I'm sure you have a lot of questions in regards to this. The hope would be that we can have an approved conceptual design for this May, and then we can unveil it this year and have the unveiling of the new wall in 2025. They're realistic. Those are very realistic goals. It's not a very large project. So
So just confirming the 31,000 in the recommendation includes up to 7,000 something for the entire.
correct, yeah. If you took their proposal here, it is 23,570, adding in the lump sum of the survey for the entire park, the 12,650 minus the 5,175 that's already accounted for in the very first line item. That's where we come up to 30,000 and change.
Okay, I think then the recommendations say for the design and relocation of the memorial wall and topographical survey of the entire memorial park.
That's perfectly fine, yes.
So it's clear what that money is.
I'm very pleased to see it.
One question I had, where's the decimal points supposed to be in that number?
That's the one we talked about.
Oh, that is the type, the actual number is, I wrote it down to 31,450.
Yeah, so it's.
Yes.
It's incorrect.
It's incorrect, 31,450.
I have no question about the rest of it. I'm just, was looking at the here, it was incorrect.
The topographical survey takes into consideration what time we normally have the event, like to get good lighting, that way the announcers don't have the sun in their face.
The topographical survey wouldn't take that into consideration. That's the elevations within the park. The design would take that into consideration, which way the monuments would face, which where a natural congregation area would lie. And those are all things that will come forward in the design. They can simulate where the sun will be that time, you know, that middle of May, 10 a.m. in the morning type of a situation.
The wall would be still separate. It wouldn't be attached to a building. It would still be separate.
Correct. It would not be, it would still be a standalone amenity within the park. Not necessarily, it's a standalone right now. It's just next to the snack bar. You know, there's that electrical transformer right there. There's the fence that's in the way that we have to take down every
Trash
year.
cans are behind
The
it.
trash can behind it. Yeah, the hope would be that, thank you. The new design, we can eliminate a lot of those barriers and challenges for it. And then obviously just bringing a lot more notoriety to it. It's a very important part of our community. The honorees that are on there are very deserving and need to be recognized. And I think the traffic from the front part of the park will do so. And it should also be noted that the Rotary is looking at bringing back the Field of Honor this year as well. And one of the things they're looking at is placing the flags at the front part of the park, closer to where the new wall will be, as a way of bringing attention to it as well. So those details hasn't been finalized, but they're being worked on.
And so it'll be in such a way that an audience, accommodate an audience, right?
Correct. Yeah, not we typically get upwards of 100 people. So we would accommodate for maybe a little bit more than that, but not 1,000 people, obviously, but that's the hopes. And better security lighting is part of it. There may be possibilities of uplighting and different things like that that we can discuss, going forward. There's a lot of things that can be done to a design like this very cost efficiently, but that'll bring a lot of natural attention to it.
Okay. That's it from me. Any more comments, questions? Can I get a motion?
I move the board of directors approve the agreement with Community Works Design Group for the design and relocation of the Veterans Memorial Wall and the topographic survey of the entire Memorial Park in an amount not to exceed
$31,045.
What?
$31,045.
31,000, not 450, but
45.
$31,045.
I second.
And authorize the general manager to sign all documents.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item passes 5-0. Now on to item 5.8, discussion and possible approval of letter of agreement for Paradise Knolls development.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Good night.
I want to make sure I take the time and explain this because it's a very convoluted situation that's here. I want to make sure the board fully understands what is being proposed here. In 2016, the board of directors approved a construction and acquisition agreement with Rupa Paradise LLC, the owners and developers of Paradise Knolls. At the time, the only thing proposed within the facility was the linear park, and that the developer would build that park and turn it over to the district upon completion. The district put a stipulation in there that the park construction must start by the issuance of the 125th building permit. What we accounted for was the original planning area, which is currently the house is under construction right now, which is 107 lots. We added 18 to that to give them building permits. The rationale was for models in the first phases of homes for the next. And that's when construction needed to start, and completion of the park needed to be completed within 1 year from the time they broke ground. As you're aware, last year, the Parks District updated that agreement with Rupa Paradise LLC and Equity 3 Partners, the other partner of this group, that the district will now build the linear park plus the addition of the 2.75 acre park. The developer will fund the entire construction of both parks, including any change orders, plus on top of that, pay the district a 12.5% fee for managing the construction of those facilities. The project was approved with that 125 building permits being issued that the park had to start construction. The issue that we're running into is, let me take a step back here. The developer is still moving forward with park plans for both facilities. The park planning committee did look at a conceptual drawings late last year. We are in the second set of plan checks for those. We've completed those. They're back at the architect for review. For final modifications, and we anticipate those plans coming to the board in probably April for approval. At that point, bid documents will be prepared so we can go out to bid for the park. Planning Area 5, which is where both parks are located in, kind of the southern portion of the development, is currently under contract with a builder. Pending a couple things, which is very common in these types of things, that they have an approved grading plan that's been approved by the city of Rupa Valley. That'll give them the approved track map so they can proceed. The contract also includes that developer or builder will grade both park sites, which considered plus or minus 5/10, which is within 6 inches. That's a very typical rough grade for a park like that. Our bid for the contractor to build the park will require them to do the fine grading. The assumptions all along was that the planning area 5 would be the next part of the development to be completed. There's been some delays with the levee along the Santa Ana River. And And in the meantime, lots 3 and 4 or planning areas 6 and 7 along Limonite have sold to Century Communities. Century Communities has approved track maps at this point, and they have grading plans at City Hall almost ready for approval. They're ready to start grading very shortly. Their concern is there's only 18 building permits left to give. And while our new agreement, as soon as those funds are deposited, releases all building permits for the entire development, they want a level of confidence that when they're done grading, that there's more building permits available than just the 18. So the agreement that we have come up with is they need to, and I don't know how they came up with this number, they need to be at 81 building permits to be confident that they will be able to move forward and not be delayed should they finish grading prior to the close of escrow on planning area 5. So they've approached us about an additional 63 building permits being released. Our park development impact fee is $9,504 per unit. That's where we come up with the $598,752. The agreement that we proposed to Century Communities and Paradise Knolls is that funds be paid to the district. We'll deposit them in our park impact fee account. They will be held and tracked separately. Any interest that we earn is ours to keep, does not have to be applied towards the future park construction, but does need to be used for park development in somewhere.
I didn't see that development.
Yeah. It's because they're development impact fees, we have to use them within, yeah. With the caveat that when planning area 5 closes, the developer will deposit the appropriate funds minus that $598,000, then get credit for it. If they do not close by the end of this year, for whatever reason, that $598,000 is essentially forfeited and no longer credited towards Paradise Knoll, Rupa Paradise LLC's obligation for the park construction. It's a way to get some accountability on there so that they continue to move forward. You know, we felt $600,000 is a hefty chunk of change. That would be a good motivator. Exactly. They still are on plan for April, May of this year to close escrow, but just in case, that's where we came up with that last little caveat there. There needs to be some motivation to keep them moving forward. So I know that's a very long and convoluted process there. I have confirmed with the city manager that if we do approve this agreement and we receive these funds, we will send a letter to the city releasing these 63 additional building permits, that they will accept that as satisfaction of the part of that development agreement. That was added. That part of the development agreement was added at our request, not at the city's mandation.
When you say close escrow in April or May, that's through 5?
That's for planning area 5. With the current agreement we have requires within 30 days of the close of escrow, the funds are transferred to us.
All of the funds construct the park.
Yes, I want to try to keep this separate. Based upon where we are at, we may not have received bids for the park construction. In today's competitive bidding market, we're not going to get somebody to bid on a park and hold that fee for 6, 9, 12 months. So the way the current agreement is written, if there's not competitive bids, they have to deposit a minimum of the it's $4.6 million plus the 12% equivalent and the 10% contingency. When final bids come in for the park and the contract is awarded, they add or we refund as the bid comes in.
I feel that you've said it with confidence, so I'm going to take that. Any other issues that might come up, I think covered a lot.
I had that magic ball. I would have bought Apple stock when I was 3.
Well, the timeline, I guess, is the one that I was too close to.
You know, in today's economy, I wouldn't know what to say, but if I use DR Horton as the example, who's currently building Appaloosa Springs here along Clay Street, about every 3 weeks, they're coming to us with another 15 building permit requests and paying their fees promptly. They are moving at a very steady pace. They feel that obviously the market is still supporting that. So I am comfortable with that. On the other side, I had a talk with a developer yesterday for the warehouse industry, and that market has fallen flat. He doesn't see another warehouse being built in the Inland Empire in the next 5 to 8 years. That's not currently approved. There is massive vacancies already. So I never would have predicted either one of those. So I don't know what the timing, as long as everything works as it's being proposed, yes, it works. But that's why we put this motivator.
Well done job.
Yeah, and there is, in our current agreement, nothing says they can't pay that money, the $4.6 million prior to the close of escrow planning area 5. That's just the trigger of when the clock starts, that they have to make that deposit. They could pay it today if they wanted to, but they're obviously not going to.
You seem to have covered those points, and that's what I hear you saying.
And this is something Mr. Owen spent a lot of time on, working with the attorney representing them to make sure that everything was clear as possible. So.
No questions.
For me, can I get a motion?
Yeah, I move the board of directors approve the side letter agreement with Rupa Paradise LLC and Equity 3 Properties LLC, and authorize the general manager to sign all documents substantial to form.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes 5-0. All right, now on to item 5.9, workshop on adding safety features to ball field.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm gonna pull up a couple maps here and stuff for everybody. This is an item at the request of Director Johnson, to look at the possibility of, can something be done or added to Knowles Field to add a other play element besides just the ball fields that are there. Brought it as tight as possible there for you guys to see. The facility is bordered on the east by Poinsettia, and the west backs up to some houses as well as north and south. This is just across the street from Van Buren Elementary School. This is a unique facility that we have, as this, you know, it's a park, but we refer to it as a field because essentially it's all that's there. This consists of 3 baseball fields, a minor league, or minors as they call them, majors. So the small field is 60-foot bases, the big field is 90-foot bases, and the small field down there in the south west corner is a t-ball field. All three of these fields do have home run fences on them, which is somewhat unique for us here in the Park District. These are the only ones besides Harvey Field right here behind us that have the home run fences. Up in the northern part of the park, there is a snack bar and small storage facility. To the right of that is restrooms with a storage for the field maintenance equipment. And then the building to the west there with the 5001 on it, that is actually a cell phone tower, and the switch, that building is a switchgear for the cell phone tower. The cell phone tower is actually, you can't really see in this picture here, it's this light pole here covered by the trees. The light pole has been removed, the cell phone tower was installed, and the lights were reattached to it. This facility has 3 parking lots, 3 points of entrance, which is also somewhat unique for a park and anything here within the Parks District here. Because of its design, there's not a lot of unused space. This space here between the senior field and the T-ball field, that grass area there, that is a swell for drainage. It drops down about 3 feet. The area out here in center field of the minor league field, near Poinsettia, that is the water retention basin for the facility. Truly the only area that would be available for some sort of play equipment would be to the west of the cell phone tower in this grass area right here. It's roughly 50 feet, about 40 feet by about 75, 80 feet in length. There's concerns of its location to the senior field. Those are the biggest kids. Foul balls are always an issue here. I apologize. I had pulled this up onto the other computer today and we realized the video system wasn't working. I pulled up my laptop here for it. But I did talk with Scott Rice over at Community Works Design in regards to some possibilities here. And he sent over, I think this is it, an example here of a play structure. It's made by a Canadian company. This looks like a fish. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's lined on the inside with essentially a mesh chain, not a chain length, but a net that would keep balls or something from going inside of it. This is narrow, tall, long. In his experience, this is kind of the only thing he could think of that would safely work in an area like we're proposing, essentially creating a cage to protect the children from errant balls. That's kind of what I have for this. I just wanted to open up to the boards for discussion, see what your thoughts are.
There are places on this field where we have tall fences to prevent balls from getting close to the parking lot and things like that.
This fence along, this is only a 6-foot fence right here along this parking lot. And these fences, this home run fence out here is only a 4-foot fence. Typically the taller fence goes to the dugout. Yeah.
So this is a scenario I'm asking. So I'm here watching my teenagers play ball on the majors field, right? But I got my little kids with me. So the only place they really got to play now is that grass area.
Correct.
But we're not protecting them in any way, even though we know kids are playing.
But we don't have we have not installed a play feature at that facility.
Right, but I mean, realistically, we know.
Yeah, the only kids play on the T-ball field, this DG back here along the fence line, kids play in that dirt all day long. You know, Hot Wheels cars and whatever. You know, you're not dealing with foul balls coming off the T-ball field per se.
Right. Also, I was looking online and there were some pictures that seemed to be of people sitting at picnic tables. No?
At Knowles?
Well, when you look up Knowles, you Google map it and they come up with the pictures of, you know, the place that people install. There were people like sitting at snack bar, at like picnic tables.
Was it these pictures?
Yeah, these 73 pictures. That's not far.
I am.
Is that what calms your concern?
No, but I mean, if there's a place where there's tables, maybe that's a spot, but if those don't exist in reality. Feel like,
That's not Knowles Field.
okay,
I don't know where that is.
love the little kid picture there.
Yeah. I am drawing a blank. I do not.
That looks like Bergola.
No, that's Knowles. That's between the ball fields.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that one picture with the picnic tables. I do not believe that is Knowles Field.
Okay. I guess the question is, if we put it interior to the park like that, would they even use it? I mean, would the neighborhood use it? I mean, I'm talking about neighborhood use. And I said, I don't care if we take out a few parking spaces to kind of carve out, but I doubt if I'm here with my kids, I'm gonna want them to play on a playground that's right across the street. That's gonna be far from where I am. But if we put something on the interior of the park in that narrow area, would the neighborhood use it?
Do those major kids actually get the room?
When you get to the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, yes. The 12, 14-year-olds, not.
My
Get their
question-
card if they're hitting one at 14.
My first question is, when the fields are in use, how full and packed are the park, all of those parking lots?
On a Saturday, they're full. On a weeknight on games and practices, the later you get, the more open it becomes. But when they have opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies, Poinsettia is full as well.
Okay, because my thought, and I'm gonna show you on mine, and you can put it up there for everybody else, was to put a net fence up in this section and convert this area of parking, with the exception of those two, into the playground facility. And that way there you have plenty of room facility. You only have to put in a foul ball net from here to here. Make those two handicap spots, and you have great access in an area for a park. I don't know if you want to put that up.
I'd have to look at building code and stuff. I think we may be taking away too many spots.
Well,
that
even
would
if you
be
just do,
compliant.
even if you just do part of it. Because where's the handicap parking at now?
There's a couple different ones. There's some right in here.
That's where you're talking about.
Yeah,
He's
you wanna-
he's talking in this area right here. Putting a playground in this area.
Because that
Couple
there, the
handicap-
access, to me, it's access to the public is the least amount of netting that would need to be to protect the playground. You'll need that small section in right field of the smaller ball field there to make sure, and then you can remove some of that parking and make a nice playground area there without removing too many parking spaces that would still have access from the center and the other fields. And it would be visible from the street, so the neighborhood people would see it, use it. I don't know how much parking we could remove to make that a possibility. But to me, that, looking at it from home when I was just doing it, that would make a great location for a playground. Right about where his cursor is. It'd be easier to protect, you know.
I mean, I'm not looking at something, in my personal opinion, I'm not looking at something gargantuan. But anything is more than what we have in that community. No place. I mean, they can come there and run around on the grass, but otherwise they just don't have any place now.
I agree with your concerns about it being back behind those trees and the buildings that
Right.
unless you're actually using the field, most people wouldn't even realize it was there.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't see from, let me see if I can drop
Well, could we extend
yes.
parking into that area? To make up for any parking spaces we use?
You can't tell from here. I don't think it'll let me go into the park now. There's a foul ball fence over here too to keep balls from going into these properties.
Yeah.
You can't see from here though. I'm sorry, Ms. Johnson, what did you,
I don't know if it's wide enough, but could we add a few extra parking spaces in the green area next to the cell phone tower? To make up for any parking spaces. Yeah, so we turn that into parking.
you couldn't get, no, because it just gets so narrow down there. I understand what you're saying. And Kurt would love to pave that. Because when they come in to work on the cell phone tower, they break with sprinkler every time. And that's something else we'd have to look at too. What does our agreement with the cell phone company? Does it require that land to be?
Right, could we
Vacant.
put
Could we put
playground
it there?
equipment there that would block the?
Yeah, I don't think that would be an issue, but just something we have to double check.
So the long skinny building in the upper right, that's the bathroom.
This right here,
Um,
yes, that's the restroom. This is the snack bar and scores booth.
And the green is below with
Bleachers. Correct. The other maroon, these are dugouts that you see.
The other thought is, particularly on the poinsettia side, because again, it's closer to the street, and you can see it, is being creative and doing some of those low kinds of concrete things, snaking their way through there. As long as it didn't, interfere with handicap access, people pulling around in ice chest centers or something. Oh, there's like low climbing things that look like, you name it. Either they might just look like nothing, just something, whatever, or they could look like lizards, look like snakes.
They can look like baseball bats.
Yeah, exactly. That kids could climb on.
Something that encourage active play.
Right.
I know in talking with Xena about this earlier this week, at one point they had looked at some spring toys back in this area down in here. Not necessarily a lot of stuff, but that was something that had been discussed in the past as
I
well.
still think the feasibility of something in this area, because then you have access from every
Well,
field, which is
The
right.
challenge, this is also an access point, emergency access point. This is access to the ball fields for maintenance too on both of those.
Oh, so we couldn't use that.
Yeah,
right.
if something would have to be more in this area down here, I'm thinking.
Hmm.
I'm just very hesitant to take out any parking spots.
Yeah, but removing parking spots is only going to get something decent. Even if you took out, say, a few spots here and use this whole area, but then you have
That's
the
our
trash
trash,
dump,
yeah.
you're right, yeah. That would have to be relocated, put to somewhere, but, I don't see another viable location.
Are you talking about the areas down below the football field?
No, he was talking about right in this area.
Oh,
This is the trash enclosure.
You see where the two
Using
cars are
something over
parked there? Let's say you cut off that area where those two cars is. So you still need a little outside parking, but then you have that area converted to grass and playground, but we'd have to relocate the dumpster to the other side where that green spot is by the cell tower, where it wouldn't be in the way of anything. Right?
Yeah,
The trash company could access it from that side just as easily. And you would have I don't know what the square footage of that would be, if you, like you said, take those two spots where they're parked. Cut it straight across, then you'd have quite a bit of an area right there for a playground. By only removing 4 parking spots and relocating a trash receptacle.
trash receptacle, what's up behind the bathroom?
yeah, that's that small box right here.
But there's nothing that says that couldn't be moved where the cell tower on the other side. For the trash company still come in and
Yeah, They
access.
worked on the lights that day.
Oh, they were looking on the right.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, I saw the scissor. But see, then you're only removing what, 4 or 5 spots?
Those are ADA spots. I don't know if they're required to be there. They're closest to the restrooms. That may be something that can't be, I don't know.
A lot of questions.
And we're also now putting a playground against somebody's fence.
Well, if you put it by the cell tower, you're still putting it by somebody's fence.
No, correct. Anywhere you're doing something here, the challenge with Knowles is it's really bordered on 3 sides by yards, people's backyards.
That's also its opportunity. All those people,
Is there anything,
we just leave it for, oh, sorry.
is there anything specific in mind you had?
Anything more than nothing.
Perhaps we need to venture into just that thought just a little bit more. Right, because your concerns are well and valid, but now we
Yeah.
see what you think is what we got.
But the master plan.
Is this something the master plan might
Shed light on.
shed light on? I think the master plan will say that this area is definitely underserved. I don't think it's gonna say you need a playground at Knowles Field. It's gonna say you need a park or other activities within this general area.
That being said, though, maybe.
Between here to here.
Oh, there to there? I would not put it there. I'll tell you why later.
Hmm.
If this is something the board wants to entertain, I would recommend we wait until we get the master plan. I think some of the things the master plan may address is unique or different ways that we could meet some of these objectives. You know, I think we're knowing if we do something, we have to think outside the box. I don't think Ms. Johnson is saying we need a playground with a slide, a swing set, and no, it would be something completely different and unique to anything we have ever done.
Well, and add to that too, what we just heard, that while we have these people, what would be their site to it? Like you said, we're not well thinking, but what would be there's already been out there, already seen, and do just a little advice by now.
Yeah, I agree with the general point about having something there that can serve the community there. This whole time I'm just thinking about like any potential balls like hitting in the right. So whether it's towards the bottom or on the side. So it is just, I guess it's just the spacing.
What's in that area?
That's all the electrical switchgear.
I heard a telephone picture.
Yeah, this right in here, this area right in here. This is a fenced area, and that's where all the switchgear for the ball field lights is at, and the power coming into the park.
We would like something possible.
I'm sorry?
Is your guidance, we would like something if possible?
Are there options that we can explore?
I'm just trying to think here what our best path forward is.
Can we check the questions that were raised, like, can we take out parking?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Those are ADA issues, those are building code issues. The one thing we haven't even considered, we haven't talked to Little League, who's the facilities. What is it they would like to see? They're there more than any of us. They may have something completely different that we've never even considered.
It's always possible.
As long as it's something that also is for the community.
Correct.
Not just.
Batting cages, you know.
Lily is the league, that's what you know?
Little League is the league that plays there, yeah.
And their residency.
Like 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're.
Well, that's what we can put in that narrow skinny grass area is batting cage. Do we have?
Let's not open that can of worms, please.
Oh,
We just have to be careful not to open Pandora's box. We start wanting to take out stuff.
Just-
They might want to.
If we do for one, we need to be prepared to do for all.
Not necessarily, because again, the master plan is gonna give us guidance.
Correct. I'm just saying, if we put in batting cages, was the example I was thinking of. Other leagues are gonna say, well, how come we don't have them at our facility? That's my concern. A playground or something, no, that would not be my concern. I'm just trying to think here in my mind. Something different and unique. And maybe we need to not think of a playground.
Yeah.
But,
um,
well, yeah, that's what you've been to ball games. Look at what they're adding to professional ballparks nowadays. You know, even just the bobbleheads and stuff, that when you're the giant cement bobbleheads, when you go into different ball fields and stuff, maybe there's just large cement bats and balls that are decorative, but also something that can be climbed on. I don't know.
Maybe there's a blank
It's
wall.
pitchy wood batters with a net behind it.
Maybe
You see that a lot.
somewhere on that center building, maybe there's a blank wall that could be used for a small rock climbing wall. It's a climbing wall of some sort.
There's just so many things, we just need to narrow down to what's the right thing, what people want, what it is that you can do. Just
Talking really-
explore it further.
Yeah.
Kids can have, I mean, I've seen kids, just walking on curbs. That's fun. So, you add like a balance beam item or just make sure it's not right in the path or some trips over it. Things like that that could just be scattered about. And if I'm in the neighborhood, they would, they'll find their own fun with the climbing wall and the balance beam.
Oh,
Nothing.
This is a child's, it's a youth sports park. Maybe it's child geared exercise equipment.
Yeah, that too.
I don't know. There
Some kind
is,
of activity wall, like they
Yeah.
have, where they have things they can use, instruments they can play, do things that don't really take up a lot of space.
you know what? Now that might be a good idea. Let me, we installed one of these when I was at the city. See if they still have them. Not Sonos, what's it called?
The activity walls, they have tic-tac-toe boards, they have all kinds of
What's it called?
cool stuff on activity walls.
See if I can find a picture of it real quick. Come on. I'm sorry?
Yeah, maybe that's blocked again.
Of course not.
Maybe you should just say park activity.
No, that's not one thing. This is completely different. Oh my goodness, what is it? Why don't they have them? Why don't they show pictures of it? It's the coolest thing ever. There it is. Sonos. Is it Sonos or what's it called? Oh, come on. I don't want to sign all this stuff. No, it's not going to pop up because it's too old, probably. Not pop. There it goes. Neos. There we go. So this was something we saw at a CPRS convention one year. And this is a play wall. It's designed to be outside in a park. They literally let you hit this thing in the convention center with a baseball bat to show how sturdy it was. Imagine this is a giant interactive play feature that's like a Simon Says game. There's two sides of it. You can play speed games where it changes color. You're supposed to touch it. I can now Google, now I can think of what it's called, Neos. Let's find a video now.
Yes, what is that?
They don't mind by 40 points, very close game, good competition here, as you can see, but I don't know.
I put like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And
There you go. 6 years. There you go.
Yeah, I wanted to play again.
Yeah, this is a very unique game as far as family game, typically it's board games, you don't get to go out and, unless you're playing a field game, you don't get to do a lot of interacting like that.
The adults can play with the kids. That's what I like most about it, that it's a game I can actually play with my kids.
It's a big Simon Says.
Things at the park too that are like that.
Well, I got 5-year-olds, so it's definitely people in that regard. But yeah, boys versus girls is definitely fun and there.
Next time, I'll get you next.
I think this is cool. I don't know that I was expecting anything quite this elaborate, but I think what we're coming up to now is.
I was telling you something different that,
That our best opportunities are the walls. I think what we realize now is our best opportunities are the walls.
Have you seen the activity walls they have at display equipment at Fairmont Park? If you go over to Fairmont Park, all through, they have a little kids area, a bigger kids area, then a walkway where you walk up to them. And they have all kinds of activity walls. They have a thing in the ground where you can jump on it and play music on it. And they have slide things. They have things you can play tic-tac-toe. You just flip it over, just go over to Fairmont Park where the playground is and look at, they have at least 6 or 7 different activity walls, plus the little spring horse things for the kids and stuff. And I think about it, you look at those, they don't take up hardly any room at all. And they can just be put, like you said, all over in different areas for different age groups.
Okay,
But if you go to Fairmont Park where their playground is, you'll see what I'm talking about, the difference in the activity walls.
okay, so does that give you maybe some guidance? You realize now? that-
yeah, no, I think that is something that's completely different out of the box.
And then we can make it fit in in the areas that are available to us.
Will it help to consult with folks?
I think we need their input for sure.
Well, I would want to make sure they were okay with
Yeah.
what I'm doing, but.
Well, it may be something that we say, hey, we're looking at putting, no, that's where they all line up for, it's gonna be in the way, They know how that park is used during their games, or if you put something here, that'll stop the problem we have of kids throwing balls against it or whatever. So. Okay,
Okay.
we can do that.
Finally come to something that might work. Yes.
All right, we can talk with them and I'll talk with the landscape architect and get some examples I can bring back to you guys in a couple months.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right, next is communications / community reports. General manager report.
Yeah, just a couple things I want to share with the board here. I think you all know by now, tomorrow's Molly's last day with us. Unfortunately, she is moving on to San Bernardino County as a media specialist there. So we wish her the best. She has done a phenomenal job for us and has made sure we are ready through basically July 3rd with our events coming up. She held a big training today with staff going over a lot of with part-time staff for the events coming up and what she's planned. And she maxed out our special event budget, making sure all the supplies are ordered before she's gone. So we are sad to see her go, but we obviously wish her the best. But we're excited for that. I just want to share with the board. I'm gonna pass this around here. Something I started right before the holidays. As you're all aware, our mascot is Sunny, our raccoon. We've been talking about ways to recognize staff that just go above and beyond or as a way of a kudos. So I had these pins made that look like Sunny. So we just call it the Sunny Award. There's no criteria per se. A supervisor, manager, or employee can nominate anybody they want that just has done a great job for whatever reason it may be. We're just trying to get some things out there in employees to show that we appreciate what they're doing. I think for the most part, people are pretty excited when they get them. The public may not know understanding what they are. The idea is that they wear them. Loretta received one, wears on their ID badge. So came out super cute. Very, very affordable little trinket there. But I'm actually really excited for it. And as the nominations are coming in from different employees for other employees that have done kind of just going above and beyond, whether it be a resident calling in and complimenting a program. or staff, or a staff that was honestly mistreated by a member of the public, but held it together and handled it very well. It's those types of things as well that we're recognizing for them. It's not really, it's not just doing their job, but it's doing it and representing the district well while doing it. So
We're placing a note in their file.
yeah, and we do. We add it to their file. So it's not that you can only get one. Somebody does a phenomenal job. They may be 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. So you guys are gonna know what these are for. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. Youth basketball is underway. Thank you. We've had 2 weeks of games so far. I'm very excited to say every team has a volunteer coach this year. That has not been the case for the past couple of years. We've had 1 or 2 teams that staff has coached. So that's very exciting there. Other than that, we are happy for the rain we've been getting. That helps our budgets a lot. So, and one last thing I want to share, we got our tax papers from Five Star Bank. Last fiscal year, we earned a total of $485,899 in interest of our investments that we've had. We talked earlier about the economy and the signs of times. Interest rates are high. That's not necessarily a good thing. But the good part of it is we are earning more interest on our money than we would have. We're over 3% right now, which is phenomenal. So all that interest, if it's earned for park development impact fees, it has to stay within park development impact fees. If it's CFD 24-2, that the interest is earned of their funds, it has to stay within those. They're still restricted funds, most of them. But this is, we're taking advantage of it and making sure that we're earning the most interest that we can right now. So I want to share that with you as well. Other than that, that concludes my reports this evening.
Thank you. Next is board comments, Ms. Johnson.
Took a walk around Serrano Park last weekend. It's one of my favorite parks to walk in. It's just the right size. My husband even tracted it. It was a third of a mile all the way around. It was great. Kids playing on the playground. The dad and his phenomenal little girl, man, she could hit that. So he was pitching to her and she was just tink, tink, tink the entire time we were walking around that park. So it was really great being used. Basketball courts, completely nothing going on with them. So I'm not sure if they get used or not. So one of the few full-size basketball courts we have. Anyway, it was a great walk. Great to walk around.
Thank you, Mr. Godinez.
No comments.
I guess I'm contemplating what to say and how to say it. I'm really disappointed that Molly is leaving us, but I would like to ask if there's something already in place to get an exit interview for her that would help us. Because I believe she's been in a position lesser than a year or just more than.
Just about. I think she started February of last year.
Right.
Right. In
We really have momentum on that parade. I thought she did well to putting it together and how we were progressing. So I wouldn't want to see that lost. So maybe there's something that we can learn. And, I know recruitment and how that's done. You do go still the best people that others have, but I think we might be able to learn something as to how we now. Do you have any plans to that? I don't know that. But yeah, that would be my concern as to how quickly we put somebody in that position and what process we're going to take place. Because what we've done tonight is just really, we just hammered everything out. Thank you, President. So that worked well. But having heard about Molly, that's kind of focus my comments today.
Thank you, Mr. Leyva.
No comments this evening.
All right, my only comment is, to thank the rodeo committee folks for coming out and as well as Ms. Leisure for coming out for the help with the food fest. So glad we're adding a few things going into the event, and that's it for me. Future community meetings. Oh no, 6.3 committee reports. It says there attached report. Was there something?
There wasn't, because we just had the one for the budget personnel this past week. If the two of you wanted to comment on that. It'll be attached to the next agenda.
Yeah, so we went over the employee handbook now, and changes that were made, some recommendations that were made by CS.
It's just CPRSHR.
There we go. So we reviewed some of those edits, so it's quite a significant stuff. Edits recommended and things added. And then we also had some input in regards to some stuff that we
And some
added
of it,
recommended.
and some of it was prompted to by new laws coming into.
Correct. And so this will be something that comes before the board next month is our goal.
February.
Yeah, it's a long manual, so it's
It's been a big undertaking, about a 3-month process.
yeah, pretty much covers it. Okay, future committee meetings? Do you have anything?
Not at this point. We're waiting on plans checks to come back for a couple different things. We'll be doing a park planning at that point. And then just let the board know we'll be kicking off its first year, be kicking off our budget cycle.
Okay.
So
Any future agenda items with board members like to add? No? All right. So our next board meetings will be February 8th and February 22nd. Given that at 8:01.
I did talk into the record for a moment. I'd like to say I didn't go Hollywood tonight. Unfortunately, I'm back to